Prize picks for Week 18's Saturday slate. So let's start out with Trevor Lawrence. I do like Trevor Lawrence to go over his total projected passing yards, but also total yards as well. And just pulling it up here on the 9-5 cheat sheet, he is projected to get over the total yards as well. We can see the Tennessee defense has been giving up a lot of total yards as well to opposing quarterbacks at about 318. And, he's been a little bit inconsistent, so his number is going to be lower on average this season, total yards wise. But given the fact that he has a great matchup with this matchup against the Tennessee Titans, a team that he just went off against throwing the football, I do like that a lot. But I think there's going to be a little bit more security actually in chasing just the total yards, because obviously he's someone that has been rushing the football a little bit more. He could bust a big 20-yard rush, and either way, he could still get there by throwing the ball for 300 passing yards. So I do like this for Trevor Lawrence. He is a little bit banged up, so that's kind of the biggest worry I think people are having, but this is a need to win game. So I think just betting on this is going to be the safest route to go. So now the next one that I like is going to be Patrick Mahomes over this passing yard total. So he gets a great matchup going against the Las Vegas Raiders. That is going to be a huge plus. Okay, now the worry with him would be the fact that he could potentially be too efficient. Okay, he went for 292 in the previous game against the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, we know it's a great matchup, and he should be able to throw for around 300 yards total, and he is projected to do that as well. So if I pull up the projections, he's projected to smash that. Okay, 345 passing yard, like dominate, just because of the great matchup. It is a little bit risky, but we can see, he has been hitting that over kind of consistently as well, especially in the easier matchups like this one is. Okay, I do want to be targeting it, but the issue that I have with Patrick Mahomes is that I kind of do want to be able to stack him with a receiver, a pass catcher. I just haven't been able to do that. So I might just go ahead and go with Trevor Lawrence and try to stack him that way, because obviously if Trevor Lawrence is having a good game, one or two of his pass catchers are as well. But that's also where it gets difficult, because I don't love any of their pass catchers either. So this might not be one to attack with a big 4 bets, 5 bets, 6 bets. It might just be 2 here and there, and kind of play it safe. So I do like Derrick Henry to go over 100 or 91.5 rushing yards. Okay, we have seen him be able to do that the last 3 games. And then if you look prior to that, it was a little bit more difficult matchups. The biggest worry would be the quarterback situation, Josh Dobbs, but he came out, he was better than Willis. So I don't want to, he's good, but at the same time could be good enough for, Derrick Henry to be a good asset. And then just looking at his projection as well, this is going to be total yards, but his total yards are projected to be 112. So just in general, like, you could bet him rushing yards, and I think that's going to be the safest one, rushing yards. But he did have a decent game against them receiving wise. So if you want to go total rushing yards plus receptions, you can. I feel like we can pretty much guarantee 20 plus rushing attempts, which is what he's projected to get. And if he doesn't get that many rushing attempts, well, that just means he was breaking off some big yards, and they didn't really need him to. So I think this is going to be a good one. It should be a good one on paper. So Derrick Henry over 91.5 rushing yards. Man, it sounds like a radio station right there. So I do really like Treylon Burks to go over 36.5 for receiving yards. One, he gets improved quarterback play, and he gets a good matchup going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, the last 2 games, he's played in 80 and 76% of the snaps. So if we are going to get him playing that many snaps, it really doesn't take much for him to get there. And you had Josh Dobbs throwing the ball almost 40 times. So if Josh Dobbs is going to be throwing the ball about 30 times, I think Treylon Burks has a good chance to be able to get over this number. Heck, that he could get there in 2 catches. Okay, been much more productive, and he has had some good games against some pretty decent defenses. Green Bay for one, Cincy, as we see, Philly, tough defense, and Houston actually more shockingly a tough defense. So we kind of write that off, but this is going to be his best matchup in a while. Okay, so I do expect him to go out in a good game. And given the fact that he's playing more snaps, I don't really think this projection has really adjusted that much. And he's really the only receiver that I truly like on this slate. The thing that I don't like about it is going Derrick Henry and Treylon Burks doesn't really correlate all too well. I don't love that, but that's kind of just how this kind of slate would be breaking out. And getting into the running backs just real quick, I actually don't love Travis Etienne this week going against the Tennessee Titans, and I do like the rush projection here, 32 to bet the under. The Tennessee Titans defense has been very good against opposing running backs. I would be worried about Travis Etienne, especially given the rushing attempts. The rushing attempts really haven't been there. So that's going to be a worry for me, is that he might not be that involved because, well, it's just a tough matchup. Okay, they're going to try to pass on the Tennessee Titans because that's obviously been their weakness. And I almost think I like this because I do expect Etienne to really struggle. Okay, I don't like the fact that he could pop, 2 big receptions and get maybe 30 yards or something, get halfway there almost on one reception. But I do like the fact that this is just a higher number. Okay, yes, they're going to try to get Travis Etienne involved in the passing game if he's struggling on the ground, but at the same time, I don't expect him to have a good game in general. So I do think betting the under here would be the route to go. So then looking at Evan Engram, I actually do like the idea of betting the over receiving yards for him. We have seen him do that, 3 out of his last 5 games here. Had a good stretch in there. Once again, Trevor Lawrence kind of just struggled against Houston. Okay, you beat that team up by running the football. They were able to do that. They had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. So I think we can kind of write that off. I just love the fact that against the Jets, who are a good defense, he was able to go off. Okay, and then against Tennessee the last time they played, he went off. And this is a pretty low number for kind of that production. And I mentioned that I did want to kind of target a stack, because if Trevor Lawrence is going off, one of his pass catchers are going to go off. And I think that could easily be Evan Engram. So I'm going to go with that. And if I wasn't going with Evan Engram to use with Trevor Lawrence, I wouldn't mind the idea of going with Christian Kirk. Okay, sure, the last 2 games has kind of struggled, but he's just due for a big game. And it just feels like this is finally going to be his big game. But maybe the safest route should just be to bet the over receptions. I mean, he's on the field a ton, getting enough targets. Like, the receptions are eventually going to come his way, and getting 5 receptions in this game shouldn't be that hard for him to do. So maybe that's another way you can go about doing that. So if you like this bet better than one of the other ones that I said, go ahead and put that one in there instead. So this is what it's looking like over for Trevor Lawrence. Okay, then Derrick Henry over rush yard, Treylon Burks over, Travis Etienne under total yards, and then Evan Engram more. But you could easily adjust and put in Christian Kirk instead. But that's all I have for this Prize Picks video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and subscribe. Trying to put out more Prize Picks content. Obviously, this is for you guys to decide if you guys agree with it or not. Okay, that is for you guys to decide. I'm just trying to give you guys the information to succeed. These are the ones that I like for the Saturday slate, and I broke it down on the Saturday slate because honestly, guys, let's be honest here. We kind of play the DFS related stuff day to day, and I know you could put some full slate bets on there if you wanted to. Let's be honest, we're not going to do that. Most people are going to try to attack the Saturday slate and have some fun with it. So this was my way of showing you guys how to do that. All right, thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate, and as always, let's keep cashing.